Turn it. Now try it. It's on.
It's on.
There we go.
There we go.
We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, Tom's agreed to be our Sergeant of Arms today, so
Oh,
let
no.
him take over.
Keep your wallet.
Good morning, Mr. Nolan, where are you today?
We don't know.
Still in Cocoa Beach, 3 more days,
All right.
and it's rainy and choppy, and I saw that we're only about maybe 8 degrees warmer than you guys this morning.
Well, we're gonna have a slight breeze this afternoon, I think, so. Anyway, when are you heading back north?
We're gonna leave Saturday morning.
Very good, safe travels. Hi, Carolyn.
Thank you.
Hi.
That looks comfortable wherever you are. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Any happy bucks today from our, yes?
Excited, I belong to the Vietnam Veterans Chapter in Illinois. A lot of my classmates and guys that I grew up with, we got a Christmas party tonight, so I'm gonna be there with my brother and one of his good friends from high school. It's a nice gathering. Part of our membership, they provide a meal, a little bit of entertainment. So I get to stay up late tonight.
Either
But I won't go to bed till 11 or 12. It's an hour drive, so whenever it ends, I still gotta drive home.
Very good. Well, hope you have a great time. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Dr. Lilly.
I am. Still here. Happy about that. Kids come in next Monday. That'll be awful nice. They'll be both be here for about a week.
Very good. Howard from Wisconsin.
Yeah, well, one is happy that Buck that I'm here. The other, Chuck, there's not real happy. Our son has been diagnosed with some liver problems. And never respond, drank or anything, but he's gonna have to have a liver title and be returning to doctor. So he's been going through some from that. So it's taking your prayers and thoughts why pretty bad to like I have your son. Just out of the blue, certainly was. Is he in the end? And he's, no, he's one man.
Yeah, no. That's the big thing. Using.
I don't know, Bob. I know that he's well taken care of because he's got one daughter that's a nurse. And another one is a lawyer.
Enough to make a lot of nervous.
Yeah.
Mr. Courtney.
I just like, all right, this week. It's close to holidays and we're going to bring this over Sunday. Stocking.
I hear it was a really good program today.
President.
Happy to see Howard. I missed the meeting that you just had a couple weeks ago, so good to see you, Howard. And I realized I don't have my badge and pin on, so.
Oh, my God.
Who you are.
Oh, I saw Bill just go, whoops.
It's
Too late.
Plus,
So
I need to put more money. Brian was here at 7 till 7 today.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Was anybody late today?
Anybody?
No.
Brian wasn't.
One person, and he's all dressed up, get his award. All right, well.
I don't have any money, so you're not so.
I'm not saying what
Your credit's good here.
Ruth did text me and woke up with the sore throat.
I was just there, woke up grumpy, but. I was sleeping.
I had that problem
I'm
too.
not gonna tell her about that.
Okay, I think we'll just stop recording now and.
No names.
You all wish you were here.
Yeah, anyway, I think the inexpensive registration for the Houston convention ends today, maybe? It might be
I think it's the end of the calendar year. I think it's the
It's
end of the
soon.
month, yeah.
And, I have lived in Houston in the summertime. And it's beautiful. Plan your activities like snow days, like the inverse of snow days here.
Well, it's like
That's
holding,
the sticky weather.
it's like holding a convention in New Orleans during the summer.
In June, it's sweater weather. You're gonna sweat a lot.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's getting better. She left us with a bad joke there. Well, anyway, Bob's got our program today.
I'm gonna turn this over to you, Bob.
Jerry, what have you got on the 12th of January?
The 12th, isn't that when we're going to Archwell?
Right. Yes.
Okay. And then the 19th, Linda Poobauer is coming.
Well, I actually was trying to set the program up. They have these representatives from the Athletic Boys Club this morning, and they finally bailed on me yesterday. But I guess it doesn't matter. What I want to do with that is I resurrected, I think, out of the garage at Bauman many years ago. The plaque that was given to the Overland Rotary Corey League team in 1952, which we were the first of, and actually we did twice, to win the overall Corey League championships as part of ABC. And we were part of, the year before that, we were actually part of the first 4 teams of the Athletic Boys Club. So, in fact, this guy Don Pauly coming, it would be okay to go into the give it a March. Well, I think we're going to get through it. Well, I just have the plaque and a couple of pictures. I'm hoping to get go westward.
I can't hear Bob.
Pardon me?
I can't hear Bob.
That mic
Use
is,
the microphone.
Oh, you can't hear me?
that mic is cutting off. Give me a sec.
Hello.
Carolyn, we're
Change batteries.
gonna replace the battery.
So
Okay.
anyway, just for you. I don't know that, since I've had so much trouble getting it here, I don't know how much change. Well, I'm getting ready to leave on the 16th of the month, so. And I'd like to get it out of my hands.
I already had.
Hey, part of that story, we were at a dinner last night with some friends. And they had a lady that was a friend objected for her will. She's done 30 years in the CIA, she lives in a condo. And they spent over $300 trying to get rid of some of the stuff. However, when in the place, it had bed bugs. She lives over off of Carmen Road, and I guess I know, how do you get rid of bed bugs? Well, I guess Robert comes in and puts in, you have to heat it up to 120 degrees for 4 hours. Yeah. And I don't think it killed all of them. So anyway, wow.
That's probably why my mom didn't have any, because I think she kept her house together. Okay.
That better, Carolyn?
Is that better, Carolyn?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
I guess what I really just kind of pick around this morning and talk about, maybe we ought to be thinking about our history when we do the 75th anniversary in May. We're trying to be fun. We have, is that stuff not working?
No, it's, let me check this one. It's called every so often you need to change batteries.
Well, I don't know, any of the rest of you, my wife went to, what the Maker's Mark batteries, Sam, they're awful. Hey, we're out.
Yeah.
And maybe
Nothing
in
like yours.
We'll get.
Thank you. No problem. You know, anybody that wishes to come early and.
Oh, no, no.
You're
You're
more than
great.
happy
You're
to
doing
do so. I'm just saying.
Doing great.
Reminds me of the joke about the guys that were in the Old West, and the cook always made stuff salty, and he said, if I hear one more gripe from anybody, you're cooking. And eventually one guy started griping, these are the saltiest beans ever. And the cook looked at him and said, and they're just the way I like them. So try that.
How's that? No,
Now try it.
how's that? No.
No, it's losing connection.
Huh?
Is that on?
I could hear Dave real good.
Well, Dave's using his teacher
Oh,
voice.
how's that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see the blood coming out of your ears.
Well, at any rate, I just thought, Dave brought a copy, but I ended up bringing one too. There's a history that was written in the first 20 years of the club. It was published in 1967, pretty extensive. And tells a lot of things that we kind of did early on. Dave got it up there. We could maybe even put it up and talk about it. But then I just thought we'd reminisce a little bit around and what we remember and maybe what we could put together and who would like to kind of be a part of that. Yes.
Bob, I'll offer a little caution. I attended a 25th anniversary dinner for Overland Rotary several years ago, 10, 15, 20 years ago, when I was very involved with the foundation. And one of the original presidents got up. He was a car dealer down there. I can't think of his name now, but he talked a little bit about each of the first 25 presidents they had, and you know, they were pretty good. They did this and they did that, and nice little biography. And we had it on the riverboat that was docked down there by whatever that little town is. Yeah. And thank God, our governor, Margie, was there. She's a member of that club, Margie Salmon, and she's also an EMT and this and that. She was fire chief at that time. And as we left that night, there was a little to do on the embankment beside the river, and the fella had collapsed and died.
The one who did the program?
The one that did the program. And it was a great program. And I was trying to help. Margie took over, thank God, and she called in her crew, and they showed up, look at his foot, and he was gone. And he did a fabulous job. So I would probably not to speak at all.
So you may not, never mind.
So that kind of reminds, Howard James was a member here years ago, long before we got, he was at Southwestern Bell. He got transferred to Kirkwood, he lived in Kirkwood. Anyway, he passed away, and they said, yeah, he went through and figured out how much money he did and where he had it the day before he died. The same thing.
Well, one thing I can say, and I'll throw Tom under the bus, but in a very nice way. Very first meeting I attended, Tom was the speaker explaining about your work on the riverboat. And I had turned down, but I had an opportunity to do a riverboat, work on a barge, like an intern for a summer when I was in high school. And I always regretted not doing that. And Tom kind of set me straight. He was saying, tree, house, tree, house, tree, and so on. And sandbars. And that would have been it. I still regret not doing it. But that was the first meeting I ever attended. And I kept coming back, so it's like.
Never quite got one that good again, but you know.
No, well, I don't know, the steak handler was pretty damn good, I have to say, that was pretty good.
People still remember that one.
Yeah.
How much did you weigh back when you had a chance to be in there?
I'm soaking wet, probably around 95 to 100.
They would have carried, they would have lost you.
Real quick.
Rolled up steel cables for like 70, 80 pounds.
Oh.
Well, if the boat's back here, if you're gonna pick on a board out there 1,000 feet away, you gotta carry that like 1,000 feet. I used to make it like 30 feet, 30 feet.
I mean, did they have to be done today? It's wet, no?
Painting.
I'm pacing myself, Sarge.
Well, let's talk a little bit of how we began. Can you put that up on the?
I can, yep.
Little about page.
Let's see what we come up with here. Where am I? Nope. That one. Okay, Carolyn and Jerry, can you see that? Okay, thank you.
Yep, I can.
Talk about page 4.
Page 4. Where I was born.
Oh, probably 10 year long.
Maybe make it bigger, Dave.
The scale on the lower right.
There we go.
Go to the top of the page.
I didn't realize I'd have to work today.
Okay, that's good. So anyway, how did they start clubs? And I guess maybe they still do. It was kind of decided through the Kirkwood Club that we were going to come to Overland and try and sponsor an Overland Club. So we were actually sponsored by the Kirkwood Club. You'll see there are a couple of names, Bud Allers. I have no idea how he made Platte River games. He did. Gene Mason was the first president. He was a real estate appraiser. He had a little office on across from where the Whitner administration building is now. And then he became the first president. We don't know, and nor did he, whatever happened to our charter.
I'll have to look. I may have.
No,
Have you got it?
he's talking about the original.
The original charter. The original charter. I don't.
I got the replacement.
You got to replace it.
It was framed and
I may have it. I may have it with all the stuff there. I'll have to look.
either you do or I think.
Of the original? No. Well.
No.
anyway,
So
It's from my.
I could not find the original.
Yeah, well, I had, Gene Mason was one of the founders of Home Federal, and I spent about, I guess, 6 years on the board, and I sat next to him. I asked him, and I have no idea where it is. Anyway, but what they would do is they'd come up in the community to recruit people. And one of the people that moved it up a little bit, maybe there's a name. Anyway, there's a
Sorry.
name of
A little bit. Yeah, I know.
Jerry McCarthy, you see up at the top of him? He and then Dick and Shomo, the Shomo family was part of the insurance company that was in the list. They were actually members of the church. But they came up and recruited. And it turns out, interestingly enough, that Jerry McCarthy was actually a pharmacist. Yeah. And later, but he was allergic to penicillin. And he had to give up his pharmacy in Kirkwood. And he later was selling store fixtures. And actually, I bought store fixtures from him when we were down in the store on Lackland. So they came up and recruited people, and then you'll see that in April '47, I guess we were the sixth. It doesn't make sense about our number.
We are currently Club 2338, but it has no relation to when we were formed.
They reorganized everything. Some of the original clubs, you drop them out, and then they're still getting charters for the next, and they go back, they pick up that charter and give it to somebody.
So we were evidently almost a 6,600 club, 6599. And we were part of District 135. I think, Alan, the Spud Allen was actually district governor of 135. So anyway, we ended up in early April of 47. Charter members met in newly constructed, still there, Bank of Overland building. I don't know if any of you know where the Bank of Overland building is, but it's now a church.
Yeah.
And Mason was elected president, Jim Strauss. Did any of you remember Ed Shaughnessy?
Yes,
Yeah.
Shaughnessy was the secretary, and he was the commander. And one of the presidents, one at a board meeting brought up to drop the president because of attendance. Back then,
Oh, I think it was that Dr. Clinton?
yeah. That was one of the big things at that time, was attendance. And the secretary brought up to get it, and they found out that the president had been there less than a third of the time, I think. And so I think we have to either come or leave, and I can't remember. I've got some more up to date on that, but I cannot find it, unfortunately. I will dig before we go by.
Okay, that's fine.
I know Bill Smith spent a lot of time doing that.
Yeah, Bill and I worked on that book.
So anyway, we ended up in May 6th of 47. Charter night was at Norway Hills Country Club. And there was a lawyer by the name of John Tory Berger, who was from Kirkwood, served as a Toastmaster. And so anyway, some of the names on here you may remember. Fred Borchilty, name anybody remember? Well, he was in the real estate business and actually one of the home federal, he was president of Home Federal for a while. Ralph Clark. Dr. Randall Culver. That's who Bob Katzif bought his dental practice from.
Really?
And they were actually in the building where we Jim Davis was the president of Bank of Overland in later years. Rowdy Hairgrove.
That's a name.
Yeah, that's his name. He was the chief of police at City Hall.
Yeah, nobody made fun of his name, I bet.
No.
Sterling Kennedy was had a surveying business out in England. Louis Lager, the Lager Bake. No, that's where the grassy lot is now.
So we're on the south side of the city parking lot.
On the south side of the city. Oh, okay. Now what?
Between the parking lot and the old Baldwin building, that was where.
And where was the Overland Theater?
Where the parking lot.
Where the parking lot is. Now that was I don't know when that was torn down. Carl Meyer was at St. John's Bank. John Miller was at Community Federal. But anyway, it's interesting to look at this and say, well, when you look at this history, there was a lot of activity in that area in businesses, which today are not around. I mean, when you look at the people who came and went in and out of the Rotary Club, you know, when I joined in the early 70s, we had a little over 50 members. And at that time, you know, we still had the headquarters for Community Federal and Home Federal and Bank of Overland, St. John's Bank, and people like that have all moved out of the area. So that the viability of the neighborhood was really great. I mean, we would have our store on Lackland. We had a clinic upstairs, osteopathic clinic and cancer dental practice. Man, we had problems with people parking in the lots. You know, more than doctors. Not enough parking, but today you look and think, you know, it's completely taken up. But anyway, the club, you know, was very viable. We looked at some things that we did over time. You know, we donated to the YMCA. We sponsored 6 softball teams, and we talked about sponsoring the Corey League teams, which is what I'm going to do next week.
Bob, I find this quite interesting. This part I'm going to highlight it right here. I find this rather interesting that they did a makeup, which was wonderful, at the wrong place.
Wanted girls go out as club.
you know,
And they accepted that, that's the.
I don't know.
Is
Records
it
did
record-
not indicate if they were credited for the
Yeah.
makeup.
I just find that rather interesting that, you know, I'll give them credit, whoops, sorry.
Hey,
I'll-
they went somewhere.
I'll give them credit for doing the makeup, but you know, always check the locale first. I'm just saying.
I love the comment. After the end of the first month, the women of St. Stephen's Church were cooking lunch for the meetings. And they were like, you guys gonna keep meeting every week? Because we're out.
And they went from there to the Knights of Columbus Hall,
Yeah.
which was on the, which I guess is that
Still there.
It's
Still there.
Yep.
And that was, they said that Al Orton put that together.
Yeah.
And then in 1948, the Overland Lions home opened. And it's kind of sideline interesting to that.
So that one had moved there. Or-
Yeah, my father was actually the president of the Lions Club. And they did that. So so we were at the Lions Club from 48 till whenever we moved to,
Roaster 37, wasn't it?
when we went up to the restaurant. What
Whenever the roaster, that was
was the name of the restaurant? Had a cockroaches in the name?
Blair.
Blair House.
Blair House. That was the year I was president. We moved and changed time.
And but Lee Batten's the one that drove that decision to begin with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Lee Bass' wife is a pretty big. Yeah. Talk to her, but their daughter. So we did. Posted that on Facebook.
Was there on
Prayer. She having some dementia.
Well, that'd be up in years.
Oh, yeah.
She is, yeah. She's been having some dementia.
Off and on.
Grace is very sick. And, anyway, she didn't recognize Terry and thought she was an intruder or something. And so anyway, she's in the psych ward from what Terry told me, and hoping to get her medications set up so that she can come back home, but Terry's also looking at. I hate to put her someplace that might be the best thing for her. Yeah, she's gonna be freaking out.
Also become probably caregiver. So we stayed at the Lions Club till 87, and then we were at the house till we went to the Wednesday. We had a Wednesday morning. I don't know who the president was at the time, but the guy called and told them they were closing that night.
Was it better or who was president then?
Howard, they see it.
No.
No,
I wasn't,
we went-
I was
we
just
went-
getting ready to say, I wasn't the one that got called, but I remember that, I was the one that made arrangements for the Blair House too, because that was president when we changed from noon, from the life, why I was president then, and, what was it? Coolman's, I believe what Coolman's had had Blair House at that time. And, she was on the school board.
Oh, well, they sold it to
So
somebody.
then they sold it to somebody else, and then that's, where did we go to get from the Blair House?
Russo.
Was it Russo?
Mhm.
That was.
We literally have not been.
Very many places.
Lions Home, Blair House, Russo.
What do you mean?
and now here.
Stephen Memorial.
That was in the first 2 years.
But the other interesting thing is we had a couple of women who were cooks. We were noted for great lunch.
Oh, yeah.
And they retired.
And that's what we did.
And we were really, oh my God, we're worried about them. We hired 2 more. Actually, they were better than the original.
Yeah.
They were good. I think, isn't that part, didn't that group retire and it was part of our decision
I
to?
think
They go to a morning
they were
meeting.
no longer going
Right,
to,
right.
and they were, and they would not do breakfast,
Right.
and they would not do breakfast.
So-
And so, we had to find another place. If I remember right.
So one of the things I remember about the Lions Home is at Shaughnessy, we had a table, which was like kind of like this one, and he had same chair every time. So, I don't mess with his chair.
He was carried, he really, you missed out that, not you.
Well, wasn't Ed Shaughnessy and Bill Robarts were the two that would come visit us? Bill and I first joined.
I know Bill Robarts.
Bill Robarts moved to Montana, didn't he?
On there,
What was the name of that development down
yeah, well, that was one of the first developments.
there? Yeah, he was a member of the club down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill had a, I think a 50-year.
That Carolina.
Carolina, yeah, they moved to Carolina. But he had a service station on the corner
From Gun Station to, executive.
of Brown and Midland. You could go down there, and, they come out years ago, they pump your gas.
That's not another big lot.
That building's for sale now.
Again.
It's been for sale. Well, someone had it for like 10 years, so, but they had like a little art studio, but they didn't have much contact with the public.
Wasn't it a boat place for a while?
Yeah, when I first moved there, 20, it was like,
Brown.
they had a lot more doing books about it.
So as we progress on, we donated money to a lot of things, but one of the interesting things, I don't think it's in the book. There was a young man who lived in West Overland who had failed kidneys. And Bob Bartram, I think, was the one that started it, but we raised money through the district and bought him a machine. And I think we provided money for his supplies for, I think for a number of years. We did that. Wow. It was as I remember, it was like $60,000.
It was a very expensive.
Yeah, in the time, it was a lot of money. That was part of the.
600,000 a day.
But very, I remember, I wasn't in your club at that time, but I remember.
No, you know, that's long before you.
Yeah, but reading about it.
So we were very viable in the community and still are. But anyway, then when I joined in the early 70s, we were just beginning, probably about 1970, to do our college. Ian, the way we raised money, those of you who remember, we still had annual pancake breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
And so, but at the time we did that, Frank Rice was one of our members. He actually built loading docks on the warehouse. He had this recipe that required blenders to crack the nuts and whatever we put in the. So we all had our blenders out making this, making all this pancake. Finally, we got smart and bought it.
But in the,
I think we had, I remember we had it at Wyland School. Where it started, but that's how we started raising our money for scholarships. And if you think about scholarships now, that goes back 50 years. How many kids have we touched? Think about that. I mean, we probably have at least 3. So 150.
And how many have they touched? You know, what is that? It's the regular upon effect at that point that makes a big difference.
Yeah, we really don't know, you know.
well, you may know, because I gave Ann a list from number 1 up until the time I went to Wisconsin. I gave her a list of all of the scholarship winners.
Oh, all the winners?
All the winners.
Yeah, with Wisconsin.
So I gave that to Ann, and I don't know if she's got it or I don't have it anymore. Because I gave everything to her.
Well, that'd be an interesting thing if we could reconstruct that. And also, and Dave, I think you and Ramesh, can we reconstruct our past president?
Oh,
you got it.
I think we're, well, we've got plaques.
Yeah.
that'll take us through
This goes.
like Mike Roman. Right.
Maybe we can remember the rest of them. or
Yeah.
we might have-
Well, I don't know.
Could you put that together?
I don't know.
Okay. Good answer.
I need to get Dave to take a picture of the plaque.
Oh, he's got the plaque,
He
okay,
has the plaque.
okay, all right.
Yeah, he took all what you didn't grab out of the bottom garage.
Yeah, well, I
Went to
didn't
his
know what that
basement.
was.
Well, I put it in there, so all in there, you ought to take it out.
Hey, Bob, when I cleaned out the closet at Russo's,
Right.
got to my storage, some of it was so damaged, that the kitchen was all moldy. But there were about 3 or 4 posters from a pancake breakfast in
Oh, really?
1975.
With pictures.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're, just like hang up around town or whatever. What I love is down at the bottom, it says what they call them, the rosettes. The ladies auxiliary.
Rotary ends.
Rotary ends.
Rotary ends, yeah.
Rotary
Do you still have them?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe we can get a picture.
Yeah, I'll put one in a frame and put it.
So it's like calling them rochettes. and see what
Yeah.
They didn't much care for rotary ends. Well, it's gone now that ladies can interact.
Ah,
Yeah.
This is not about our club, but the club I go to, where in Wisconsin. The year that the opening of having members, lady members, 3 of the, I guess you'd call it the pillars of the Rotary Club in Sturgeon Bay decided there was not going to be women in the Rotary Club. They're not supposed to. So they dropped out and started the Breakfast Club. And in the 3 years after they started, and they got a charter because it was a different, even though they were all members of Rotary, they were able to start because they were doing a different time. So therefore it was availability. And the 3rd year that, no, it was the 4th year, because the 3rd year, the first woman joined. And next year she was elected president. And right now, there's probably more than 50% of the membership are women. But that, I think that was interesting. And they were somehow or another, it was known in the district that they were not going to have women.
Well, speaking of women, I think our first female member was Dorothy Miller.
Dorothy Miller was
Steel.
And Dorothy Miller was actually the city clerk of the city of Overland Rotary.
Do you know what year that was? Approximately, or when did Rotary?
Sometime in the 80s.
That's what I say, sometime in the 80s is when it happened, I'm
Yeah.
86.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
82
Because at that time, I belonged to Effingham Rotary, there were about 3 guys that stood up and
about
protested.
86 or 87 because that,
I don't think we did.
He
it
said
right away.
86.
no. But Miller was the first one.
Yeah. So I belonged to the Winslow Club originally, and they had 70 some odd members, and there was and so I was a member of that club in the early 90s when they allowed the first woman to join, and there was a gentleman by the name of Jerry, and I can't think of his last name, he was an alderman for Lake St. Louis, and he was very much opposed to women joining, and one joined anyway, and he, a couple years later, apologized publicly, in front of the club, said he was wrong about that. And he was quite a character because he was also treasurer my first year. And he was 72 members, and he would stand up and say, Todd, you're $200 behind on your account. And go through and say who owed money.
That's better than collection, right?
Peer pressure does work at whatever age.
Yeah, and it offended some people,
I'm sure.
especially the ones whose names are.
What a great idea. On my drive over this morning, I was thinking, I think I need to send a check in. I don't think I got a bill yet. I better send it in anyway.
Well, I guess, can you think about some of the other female members we've had?
I remember one individual that, I won't say who, but I'm sorry. When Mary wanted to join, I'm on our own. I made, brought it to the board, the board said, yeah, no problem, because she'd been doing stuff anyway. So they said, you want to announce a new club, which I did. And I remember one individual I was working for at the time, who said, oh, no, we'll take Mary in a heartbeat, but you're gonna have to find another club. Okay, that's where I fit in. That's great. But, part of it is how you have the passion. The individuals that have the passion, and it's not gender based, it's the individual.
What was Shirley's?
Now,
Huh?
Shirley,
Melanie.
Now,
she was our first president, lady
She
president.
was our first lady president.
Yeah.
I don't remember how successful that was.
She was our first.
She was the first.
That's what I remember.
Not very.
Evidently didn't stand out much.
And then Linda Novak.
Yeah.
Novak.
She came
Great Rotary.
from the school district, didn't she?
No, she was back there, she was from Centennial.
Oh, from Centennial Bank. No, we also got.
Then made the switch to Commerce.
But then we also had somebody from the school district fire and whose husband was an educator in Clayton, is no man? No. There was somebody.
Since I was,
Yeah.
So then the other thing that was significant is student Rotary. And I think, if I remember reading this correctly or from history, that I think that was started around that year.
yes,
I think that's
they
what
were
he
first,
said.
yeah, it was, they had the first student to be a student Rotarian, ended up being an assistant principal at the high school.
Okay, who was that?
It's not Gary Powell.
Gary Powell. I think also, wasn't Bob Cass's older son that's an ophthalmologist?
Yeah, and my son was.
Your son was also. So, that's been, again, going back to what we talk about, impact of
Mhm.
scholarship, what's happened to all those people who are student Rotarians.
Or Jerry's with Ryland. How many Rylarians did we impact over the years?
Well, that seems to be more recent though, isn't it?
Yeah,
Jerry?
very
When
much.
did we start Riley? When did we start Riley?
He's got on.
Somewhere, 2003, 4, something like that. It was shortly after I began because I remember driving the first one. They were going to hold it at William Jewell and a tornado ripped through the William Jewell campus. So they had to have it at UCM there. And I remember driving the young lady up there because she couldn't get a ride. So I drove her. And I'm still Facebook acquaintances with her. So it probably would have been 3, 4, 5, somewhere around there.
Of course, and before that, why we participated.
Boy State.
In Boy State, we always sent somebody to Boy State,
Right.
which still going in for as far as I know. And then the Jefferson City Rotary Club sponsored a government day. Remember, Vince, you taken a trip to Jeff City?
I went.
If you remember, you took.
I remember that.
Yeah, and I had
Yeah, Ted.
Ted did, and I was thinking that one time that you.
I think I was supposed to, and I had to bail because of.
Yeah, well, but I did it till Ted took over.
Okay.
I remember, I guess my senior year in high school, we went, took a trip to Jeff City.
Yeah.
Class or?
No, it was actually, you chose 3 people, the club, all of the clubs in the area.
Yeah, I'm not so sure, I mean, who of the club was going to school.
No,
And we went up to visit, look at the legislature, you know, they had all the chicken on. beat up
What
on
you're
the-
talking about was they actually kind of sat in the rotunda, the whole,
yeah,
Yeah,
oh, I had forgot about that.
but my recollection going up as a senior, it's the first time I was ever in a pool hall, because they allowed it. So, you know, you look at what we've done from that perspective in, over the years, it's significant. And we ought to feel good about that.
a lot of these things that we're talking about, died because of lack of interest, not from the club so much as from the sponsoring organization. And that basically was school at that particular time. And I don't know what happened to that.
So what happened to the American Field Service? That was another one. We were
That's,
very involved in foreign
Yeah,
exchange.
big
students.
foreign exchange.
Huh?
Yeah,
But we as
Yeah.
a club were we had members of the club very involved.
Yeah, AFS.
And
Yeah,
I
American.
mean, Ken Ellis.
Yeah, Jim.
Matter of fact, speaking of Ken, we received a Christmas card from Joe. He's over at One McKnight
AFS
Place.
is still around.
Remember that we've kind of had a significance on community and members and other people.
I guess I just stated out first, but I have not been in, unfortunately, on these discussions of the quote, new club and so on, but spreading, I think, is good. But now what are we going, we are not doing a number of things that we used to do. Now, then we kind of, what are we going to do with it now? We got 3 school districts. And one is that we will be
Well, I think
in our area.
that'd be a challenge. I don't think you're ever going to completely devote yourself going back to Overland. Part of it, but that's all changed. You know?
Yeah, I realize that, but I know one of the big things that I know that the teachers still are very, like the idea of the dictionaries, but that's now if you think about that. There's a lot of money.
You may not expand that to 3 different schools.
Yeah, that's,
Our plan, our thought is that we're going to add 2, not take away from.
okay.
I think that's part of the reason that, you know, we, as part of our publicity to get new members, you know, this is what we have been able to do for the Rittner School District, and we want to expand, but we can't do that with additional members, additional fundraisers.
I agree, yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, as we would pull more members from this area, then we would start doing more for this community. And
Well, I
Right.
think the other thing we have to look at from a club standpoint is where we have been so supportive of the Rotary Foundation over the years. And I can remember our first Paul Harris fellow, I think we gave to Bill Robles. I remember it was our 50th anniversary. He was the first Paul Harris fellow. I mean, he was so active in recruiting people and doing things, and we, you know, we felt that. I can remember, I think it was, I don't know, Rick Nelson was like him. I remember getting a check from him for the Rotary Foundation on the fender of a car outside the line.
Our celebration.
I know I cheated on my first Paul Harris. And we were checked for 500.
Would you start saying,
We had our celebration at the same point at Norwood,
correct?
and I'm trying to think of something, we gave somebody a Paul Harris then,
At the 50th?
yeah.
This is when Dave's parents were there.
Yep.
Also, I think,
Yeah, he got one. Dad got one Jerry was governor. And Stacy was still DRFC. And Dad got one of the Paul Harris fellows at that time. Because he was part of the, I'm trying to look up something here. He was,
West County Club.
no, he was part of Club 11 way back when.
Why don't you show
Well,
a list of our Paul Harris?
That's where.
I'm trying to get there.
That's a screwy look.
I know,
He's reporting.
yeah, but that's individual. I need club. Yeah, but I need to go down further. It might take a minute. Club giving. It'll take a second.
that was the question. No.
Oh, it's all.
It's all online.
There.
We're just waiting for
All
their.
on the cloud.
Yeah, I mean, there's a,
Those
oh, I mean, from this is going to tell us who was,
Club reports.
founded our foundation.
I'm gonna go here first. While that's opening up. And do that one. Come on, really? So our club through today,
Oh, wait.
this is what I wanted to show. This number right here when it shows up, and it'll take a second.
Oh,
Yeah, we're pushing for. And then where's this one at?
Well, I don't know what the status is of the club here, but at one time,
Oh, that's the fundraising.
the two clubs that I attend, the one in Wisconsin, and they led the district in 16 foundation.
Yep, we're at 16 already.
yeah, ours is 1,000 per.
We were at 24,000.
I don't know what the one up there. Job.
And the other
Really?
interesting thing is like to share with Woody, there was a endowment gift given from Hayton.
SAP should not be coming up on that one. Well, I can't find the one I'm looking for right now because it doesn't wish to cooperate. Yes, I know.
Not just the listing. That you private.
The website wasn't cooperating very well yesterday either. I tried to register for the international convention and it took me all the way through. I registered right before the assistant governor's meeting last night. So it would just spin and then stop.
Well, they're just not, I mean, they're not, it's end of year, so they're overflowing right now. Okay, this is the page I was looking for and it's deciding to come up so far.
Yeah, so far. To the Cathy.
Yeah.
It's a 15 December.
Yep, as of this morning, the information it's pulling up as soon as it does,
This would have your number on it, Howard.
yeah, it'll tell where everybody's at.
Probably.
Maybe. Amuse yourself. I will give a discussion. Remember on Saturday Night Live. Well, there we go. It's there. All-time giving, $382,216 from the Overland Club to the foundation. Right up here.
Green Day.
Oh, right up there, okay.
Close to $400,000.
Share the screen, Day.
Just a sec. Now I have to get back to that screen.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to delay things. I was just curious.
There,
Where?
300, yeah, where? $382,216 since Overland was formed.
Now, can you sort that by the first one so that?
No.
That's only the number.
This only gives current members.
There's also,
really?
there's also another one that gives you all the names
Right,
of the Paul Harris fellows.
We're, okay, they're on.
So- you're at 6480. So you are,
Paul Harris Hall of Four. or-
you're +5. Howard, you're a +5, 6480.
My little gizmo only test me on.
If does it have 3 or 4? See, remember the number of stones on it is going to be one behind the original. So a +5 is going to have 4 stones on it.
Okay, Carolyn, she wants to know where she is. Tell her.
Carolyn, you're at 8325. You're a +7.
Carolyn, did you hear that?
Or you could be.
Okay, so I'm 800, so I'm.
You're 6480.
Now, is that beyond the 1,000? Because like,
No, that is total, that's total recognition giving. So that the first 1,000 would be the pin.
right.
And then when you hit 2,000, you get the pin plus 1
So like
stone.
mine says 9
Right.
So if you
and
want
not
to give
10.
a power.
Once you hit +9, anything over 10 is always going to show +9. And then that goes
What
to the
I'm
major
saying is
donor.
Those other numbers, are they at 1,000 off?
They are, well, like Doc is +1, so he's at 2,500. So the +1 means it's 1,000 plus 1 more set of 1,000. Or plus 2 more sets of 1,000, or +3, or it is,
What happens if we give points? Does that go into the?
it will move them up, yes.
So if Howard gave us $300, we matched 300. he'd be-
Oh, more than, yeah.
he'd be sub.
Oh, yeah, definitely, because he's
We're
520
matching-
short.
We're matching up to the end of the month.
You're 520 short of the +7. Now, it won't catch up to you for, until February, probably. I mean, as far as the pins go.
Okay, well, I think we've kind of hit some things around. I hope we found interesting.
We have
need to-
sponsored, wrestling. We've sponsored Vienna, at a concert, Vienna concert,
Right.
and, something else in back probably in here, but there's something else that I thought.
Well, we should all feel good about our account.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Very, very good. Very good. Good program, Rob. Thank you. We do have a drawing. Rob, you want to pick it up?
Okay. The winning number is 010.
I got it. So I get my chance to lose.
Two diamonds.
So close and yet so far.
All right. We will, we'll meet next week. And then we're
Off a week.
off a week. And then we'll come back first of the year.
You got meeting for the first 2 meetings in January.
We do.
Yep.
We do. Chuck, that's when you're planning on doing.
Right, I'm either gonna do it or the director of operations is gonna come. This is in Wentzville. I said, look, I understand you can't drive that early, but, I'm gonna do it. What I'm gonna talk about is the Veterans Community Project, a not-for-profit organization that's working on getting homeless veterans transition back to life. I think you'll find it enjoyable.
That's January 5th, and then the 12th, we're going to the field trip to Archwell, which is it's a new health center in Overland Plaza. where the Chinese restaurant used to be. Yeah, so that's a field trip in Calamari, that.
Okay, well,
New kid on the block, that's all.
okay, then I'll be, so.
Okay. And what, we got something already scheduled for next week, is that right? Dave?
Yep, I don't remember who, but
Okay.
we have somebody next week.
Right at 1:07.
All right, everyone have a good week.
Y'all take care.
All